Bubba here today. I know it's been a while since I made a video. I've been working swing shifts, and I'm gonna go ahead and be honest, I've gotten pretty lazy. I get off at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, grab my kid, go to bed. Don't usually happen until about 4 o'clock. Then I sleep till about 1 o'clock, sometimes 11 if I'm lucky, and get up and go back to work by 3. So I apologize I haven't got no videos out, but I've been just hating this swing shift. But today what we're gonna do is we're going to do some pine pitch or pine glue, wherever you come from or however you call it. It's pretty simple. We need 3-4 things basically. You're going to need a fire because you're going to have to get everything hot, and I got an old, I think this was a chicken can with some chicken in it, that you're going to need to melt and cook your pine sap. You start with pine sap. Today I got 2 different kinds of pine sap. I got some old nasty, not real clean, but not real dirty pine sap. And I got, yeah, look at this glorious beauty. And that's the goodness. That's what we're going to use today. What we're going to do is we're going to put it in there and let it come to a double boiler style and melt this. And I'm just going to use my little jet bowl today because I got to go to dinner here in just a little bit with my mom. Along with that, you're going to need some charcoal, some binder, which you can either use horse turds or you could use this right here, which is a cattail, and this is just going to be the rock to crush up this. Now the ratios that I like that we're going to use today is you're going to use half as much charcoal as you got pine sap, and then you're going to use a half or less binder that you have charcoal. And that's going to be a feel thing. That you're going to have to mix up as you go to see if it's getting thick enough and the right consistency. So that's going to be up to you. Oh my goodness, can y'all see this? I had to pause for a minute. I looked down, and where I decided to set up evidently is a mosquito bed. I am covered in mosquitoes, like slap covered. So I went and got my buddy Deep, spray these jokers, and hopefully keep them off me because I'm like bleeding all over my legs now from these guys. So what I've done is I've turned on my little jet bowl, and I'm going to start trying to melt this down. While that's doing that, I'm going to take my rock and I'm going to powder. Just turn all your charcoal into powder. Now, I don't know if you could use like Kingsford's or something like that. Not sponsored. I don't know if you could use Kingsford or something like that. I'm sure it would work if you got it down to powder. But like homemade charcoal and charcoal from your old fire, the ash from like not the ash, but the charcoal from the fire that you made works a lot better. See? It just cracks up and breaks up a lot easier. And that's what you want. If you got a mortar and pestle, that'd be even easier. But that's the game plan. Get everything broke down. So while I'm doing that and letting this pine sap melt down, which is evidently going to take a while, note to self, pine sap is very flammable. If you're using this on a fire, not a jet bowl, be careful. It's flammable. Don't let the flame get to the pine sap once it gets melted. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause for the cause. I'm going to continue beating up, smashing this charcoal. I'm going to let that get melted, and I'm going to check back with y'all in just a minute. Don't worry, I'll be right back. Don't worry. Alright, another thing I need, a stick. When it starts getting all melted, looking like it's about getting there, keep it moving a little bit. It helps it melt better because I got a puddle down here and then the chunk right there. But hope that didn't fog y'all out. So once this is 100% melted, I'm going to start mixing in this ash, this charcoal right here. If I don't make a mess, because my double boiler's not wanting to work like I wanted it to. But either way, once you can mix all of it in there, which I think I can now, I'm going to add about half as much pine sap as there was, half as much charcoal as there is pine sap. Now I put mine in a cup because the wind was blowing pretty good a minute ago. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shake some of that charcoal in there. Ooh, and it's warm. What I think's about half. maybe a hair more. Now I'm going to mix that up in there and save the rest to see what it looks like. And then you just get it all mixed in thoroughly, and then you mix in the binder. So once this is all mixed in real good, then you mix the binder. You don't want to do it ahead of time. Now I got me a couple extra green sticks cut over here to actually make the pitch, because once I start stirring this binder in, this stick that I'm using now is going to be about ruined, because that stuff is going to be everywhere. Now make sure when you're mixing this in here that once it's all completely mixed, it should be pretty black. So once you think you've got it completely mixed, if you're still seeing a real good bit of pine sap, add you a little bit more charcoal in there. If you're one of those guys that does exact measuring, you probably won't have to do that. But I'm not breaking those scales out, and I'm not doing none of that. But I guess rule of thumb is about half and half. So I don't think I'm seeing too much pine sap in there. I think it's all looking pretty black. Still got a little bit of charcoal to mix up in there. Now I'm going to use this cattail for binder, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and thing just fell over. All right, go ahead and break up this cattail, and that's going to be a feel thing. What it feels like to you. You want it kind of thick, like Play-Doh maybe. You want it good and thick, but you don't want it too thick that you can't work with it and it won't stir in, and you don't want it too runny either. So it's going to be kind of a play thing, a feel with it. It's going to be a feel thing, a play with it kind of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and break up some of this here. See if I can take this cattail. There you go. See all this fibrous stuff? Now the wind's blowing pretty good. I got some kind of storm or something today, so I'm going to try to do it right here. Now remember, wow, that's hot. But it's always easy to add. It is not easy to take away. So if you need to, start off light and see what I was talking about. Now this stuff right here, don't want to mix in. You're going to have fluff all over your stick. But do it the best you can. If you got gloves, wear gloves so you can keep everything still. But I can't wear gloves, hold this camera and do this. So I might set you down, see if we get any kind of footage. I don't know. Let's see what happens here. Oh yeah, we're getting a good consistency now. You'll know it when it starts getting to where you want, because some of it's going to clump together and some of it's going to try to run away. It's going to be separated inside here. That's why it's called a binder. You want enough of it to bind all of it together. And you'll be able to see it when it starts binding together. You'll be able to tell when it's not bound together yet. So add a little bit more binder if you need to. But remember, like I said, it's always easy to add, not easy to take away. Oh yeah, we might be how Daddy likes it now. See that? Look at there. You want it so it'll roll, and can y'all see that? See how it's kind of, yeah. Whoa, that was almost a boo-boo. All right, I guess I'm gonna make a couple sticks and let's go with it. Let me see if I can see it. Set this up so y'all can see it. All right, stick it in there and roll it. Let that cool just a little bit. Do it again. When I said let it cool a little bit, I didn't listen to myself. Let it cool just a little bit before you stick it back in there. It's gonna help you, trust me. It's gonna help. You can do like this right here with your hand. Shape it how you want to. It's not too stupid hot. So give it just a second before you decide to do that. Shape it to the size, the distance, the thickness you want. Dip it again. And twist it on there. If you need to, you got your stir stick to the side. Make sure everything's still somewhat mixed up and it looks good. Just thought I saw a good little puddle, so I was just checking. See, it's not stupid hot. That was in real time. Roll it on your hand a little bit. Give it the shape you want. This is all personal, how you want it. How big you want it, how small you want it, shape you want it. As long as you did the stuff right, I might have a little too much binder, I don't know. But that's about how big I like mine. About like a thumb. All right. And the cool thing about this, what you want to do, you don't have to do it. I like to do it once it's made and you shape it. If you take it over the fire like I'm about to show you, it'll give you that pretty glossy look. So let's do that. I'm going to move this right here out of the way. Got the fire right there. Shape it like I want it to. Kind of take it near the fire. Highly flammable, remember. See how it's getting that real glossy, pretty look though? See how it lit up on me? How I instantly blew it out? But now look at it. You got that perfect, beautiful, shiny, hey, I know what I'm doing look. You don't have to have it shiny, it just looks cool. Look, Ma, I made pine glue. All right, y'all. I'm gonna turn this down so hopefully y'all can hear me. That is how you make pine pitch pine glue. Now, I got a couple more I'm gonna make up off camera here. I'm gonna set this to the side. And what you do when you want to use this in the woods or anywhere, and you've got your fire going, if you need to glue something together, you just get the hot. You just get this hot, like get the tip of it hot, and dab it on whatever you want. Or roll it onto a wound. It's best to use plain pine sap if you're going to do that. In one of my videos coming up, I'm actually going to take that really good, clean pine sap and make a pine salve. Oh yeah, you might like that, huh? But Everything is all about trial and error. Pause for the calls there. Sorry, folks. So get out, do this yourself, make it yourself. Look, when this is completely dried, yeah, I don't know, about a minute or three, whatever, you want it to have some malleability. You want to be able to stick your thumbnail in it and see a little indentation, but you don't want it too hard that when you hit it on the rocks it'll break. And all that comes from the amount of charcoal and binder that you put in these two things. So get out there, have fun, play with it, give it a go, see how it does. Thank y'all for coming out. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, tell your friends about it, share it around, and y'all have fun now. All right, God bless. I let them cool a little bit. I figured y'all want to see this. This was the first one I made. That was the second one, was what was left over in there. The first one, like, it's a lot harder. It'll barely take, it'll take your nail. I don't know if you can see that. This one, out of boredom and just because I wanted to play, I added a good bit more charcoal and binder. Now, they've been cooling, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. This one, you can see, I can still shape it. This one doesn't really want to move at all. It has more of a sound versus the, see what I mean? That one's a little bit harder. A little bit harder, a little less is hard. And just playing with it. So that's what I was getting to. You really can't screw it up. It's just going to be different. It'll do the job. I could take my lighter to this right now and light it for you. I could glue things on. Now, if you're using it for glue, that's when you want to worry about not too brittle, and you don't want it this soft. If you're trying to glue something together, you don't want it that soft, as in an arrowhead or a spearhead or something you don't really want to move at all. You want to do it a little bit harder, but then you fight with the fact of, hey, it's fragile. So don't get it too hard to where it's fragile. If you want to use it, what this one's going to turn into, it's going to be like a fire starter or something not as, something a little bit more malleable. If I want to put it on rope and keep rope from slipping, this will do it. This will keep it from moving. It'll also keep it a little bit more malleable. Different purposes, different things, lots of different stuff you can do with it. Get on there, try it out, get out in the woods. I know I'm not in the woods, I'm in the backyard, but like I said, swing shift is killing me, and I gotta go to dinner with my mom and dad and them in about an hour. So I'm gonna go inside and wash my butt and go eat dinner. Looking for some all-you-can-eat ribs. That's what I'm hunting. Boy, give me the meat. Ha! All right, y'all. I'm out of here this time. Appreciate y'all. Bye.